Hey, Coach. So glad you found the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Let me help you put banners and national rankings and all those things in your gym. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a community of like-minded coaches. We just got off an hour and a half call. Come over and join us, and let's head off to the video.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. So excited you decided to join us. Before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shooting machine on the market. Mention any of our podcasts, Coach Unplugged, High School Hoops, Coaching Youth Hoops, 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast, Funnel Down Defense Podcast, Rule of Three Offense Podcast, Combination Defense Podcast, which is a good one people haven't been listening to, but you should go listen to. Anyway, mention any of those, mention Coach Collins, they'll give you $450 off, and they'll take really good care of you. It's the best discount on the market. We have a great relationship with Dr. Dish. It is literally the best shooting machine. They're always innovating. They have the machines that go into gyms. They have the home version. They have the IC3. A couple of those you don't get the $450 discount, but they'll take good care of you if you mention me. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. I just listened to a podcast about experts, which I found intriguing. I think the podcast was about what is an expert. Do you need an expert? Blah blah blah. I think you need experts and mentors. They can be the same thing in your life to help you, to question you, to ask you about where you're going, to pivoting, to moving. All of those things are super important to become a better basketball coach. They really are. And you can find those. You can find a mentor right here, or quote unquote an expert. I don't consider myself an expert, but I consider myself a mentor, someone that has experienced what you've experienced. Have not coached at the professional level, but every other level have helped and coached at those levels, and know what you're going through. And definitely the youth and the high school level, I've spent a lot of time there. I know what's around the next corner, and I think I can mentor. I can help you hopefully go down the right track, and that's what teachhoops.com was started for, and that's what it's there for. So go over and check it out with some big changes coming around the corner. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 5 steps to develop leaders. And this is kind of a little bit of one of my pet peeves, because I think us as coaches say we need leaders. We demand leaders. There aren't enough leaders. Where are the leaders? We're doing all that stuff, but we're not taking the time to develop them. We're not taking the time to promote leadership, promote what it is to be the specific leaders. So I'm going to go through some stuff. If I'm looking down or over, if you're watching me on YouTube, it's because I'm looking at different stuff. But you got to find your leaders. You got to find them, and this is where the Socratic or the questioning, and that's where the mentor or the leader or the expert can kind of help you. I mean, which players are leading, because you can lead in different ways. Which players, ask the team. We do a task early in the year, kind of called the foxhole test, where you're in a foxhole where who would you want in the front, who would you want in the back? Because first of all, I want to see who they trust. But there's work ethic ones. There's ones that always show up to the workouts in the summer. There's ones that always are corralling guys for summer league. There are always ones that are positive and bringing and saying, hey, and know how to communicate. We spend a lot of time in our program about communication, how to communicate, how to have that interaction with your friend. It's easier to do the interaction before the non-box out than after the non-box out. That's being critical. Which players, so you can ask which players unify the team, which players bring that positive energy, which players are quote unquote, I hate it, but which quote unquote are the tough players, the vocal leaders, the non-vocal leaders. And I think you got to ask those questions to try to find the leaders. That's number one. So spend time finding leaders. Number 2 is focus on leaders, not captains. Captains are, in this coach's old opinion, a joke. I don't, I mean, they're for the resume if you're trying to go to XYZ university. But a team captain is not necessarily a leader. A captain is a title, a sergeant, a CEO, a department head, whatever it is. It's a position, it's a title. It's not, it's appointed. like the I don't know, the cabinet positions for the president. Yes, there are great leaders probably in the cabinet positions for the president, but um, what does a captain do? A captain is appointed by either the team or the coach. Leaders rise. Leaders worry not only about themselves but others. Leaders know, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's number two. Focus on the leaders, not the captains. Number three is meet with your leaders. Okay, I do this on a regular basis. I've done this with some of my great leaders, even during the game. Meet with them, have interactions, have conversations, have what's the locker room feeling like. What can we do to put out the small fires before they become, take over the whole state of Colorado. Um, they are the gatekeepers. They are the ones, and I had a couple of great leaders this year on my team that were able to put out brush fires, put out the little things that were going to become big things, and said, we have to be here on time, and practice is important. And come on, effort during, being focused is, something that's important for our team to go to the next level. So meet with them, have either planned or some sort of interaction with all of your leaders. So that's number three. Number four is promote leadership. Talk about the types of leaders that you want. You want game leaders, you want practice leaders, you want locker room leaders, you want the funny ones. I can tell you a kid on my team, I won't mention him right now because he might be listening, is a funny leader, the energy giver rather than the energy taker. So promote those, promote the kid that makes everyone laugh. Um, because there's different types of leadership. And then that's number four. And then number five is start when they're young, start when they're freshmen. If you're a high school coach, or start when they're in third grade. So the time they get to eighth grade or go off to high school, but build the leadership skills. Tell them what you want. Talk to them about how to lead. It is probably one of the biggest mistakes coaches do is they don't give examples of leadership. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you something I did with my team this year. There was, I don't know, it was mid-season probably, and something happened in practice, and one player got another player, and how they said it, they were right in thoughts, but wrong in delivery. So I stopped practice. I said, you know what? Here's the issue is, and I said this earlier. I said you can't correct after. I said, I'm not correcting you. I'm reminding you of things that, like, when we come out of a timeout, we come out of half, we come out of quarters, we come out of whatever. I'm reminding you, hey, remember, so and so likes the two dribble pull up. So I'm leading you by reminding you of those things beforehand. So I think that's what you have to show them, how you lead, and then how they should lead. And going back to the story, so in practice, I stopped and I said, hey, we were doing a drill. I think it was a free throw box out drill, and the offense got it. Defense was in the inside net box out, or we were running a play or something like that. And somebody said something that probably was a little critical, because I think we were doing it. We were keeping score and we were doing something like that. And I said, hey, here's what you need to do. You need to do reminders, like it's a big game and they're shooting a free throw. Hey, remember, we're going to run X play, or remember that you got to get really low on this guy. Remember, maybe I got to help you box this guy out. Hey, remember, you're going to get pressured after you make this, and they're going to double team. It's those leaders do those kind of things. Like I said, they don't only worry about themselves on the court, they worry about others, and how they interact with them is important in building those schemes, those skills. So you want to not only show them, but you want to build that skill in practice and let them grow, because they'll get better at those specific skills over time if you not only demonstrate it yourself, but demonstrate it for all of them. So again, find your leaders, focus on leaders and not on captains. Promote the skills you're looking for, meet with them on a regular basis, and then build those leadership skills. Those are the 5 keys. If you think of other keys, down the show notes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, leave it in the comments. But if you can think of other ones, especially if I'm posting this on Twitter, let me know. I'd love to see what are your keys to developing a leader on the basketball court. And have a great day. And make sure, again, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one stop. Going back to the mentor thing, what differentiates all the stuff out there is finding an expert, finding a mentor, and leaning on them. And I'm here to help you. Trust me, I'm as soon as I get off this, I'm going to be 3 hours talking to teachhoops.com members and helping them on a one-to-one basis, helping them find their roadmap to becoming a better basketball coach. Hope this helps, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Actually, if you did, subscribe and like, and then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.